07 star citizens. New ship pricing in 323, and a lot of people think, oh, now I have to buy ships with real money. Well, you can, but you don't have to. I show you within Aurora the first 100 minutes to access 4 game loops that will be the foundation to develop your career and to move further on. So no worries, it's still possible. So let's get into it. This time I started here in Laurel, which is a nice place in the middle of Stanton system, and that can be if an advantage. My main starting fields are either R-Corp or Microtech, depending on what I'm doing. Is there an upside or a downside to which place you're going? Well, everything has pros, everything has cons. It's really depending where you wanna go for. In this video, I really want to show you that you don't need to buy anything, and you can make it as far up as you want to. Make your way to the train station and go to the Tisa airport. If you don't know how or get there, there are maps out in the cities, and I made a couple of city guides to find your way through it. As we are arriving, we're going straight to the ASAPs, which are the terminals where you can retrieve or get your ships delivered. So you see that travel in the big cities to the airport is usually quite long. That's why it's highly recommended to drop out your imprint onto a space station ASAP. New deal is a ship broker straight ahead. We're going to the hangars, but we need to retrieve our ship first. So you go to the ASAP, you click retrieve, or if you haven't delivered it, you deliver it first, and you go to the hangar that you're asked to go to. And this is a rental place that comes handy later on, but let's do this step by step. So here it is, our Aurora MR, the starter ship. Yeah, for those who are wondering, this is my old account that I actually have. It's my pirate account, and yeah, it's mostly empty. A couple of things are still here. I haven't played it since 319, so I have as well a little bit of reputation here, but basically we're down to the 20k AOAC with it and this one gun, which I'm not gonna use for now. So you start your ship. I have a basic starter guide, flight guides that you can check out here if you don't know anything at all and are very new to the game. And there is as well another thing that is pretty handy, a video that explains the HUDs, which you will see now on top here. You can play and look into, so you have an overview how this is actually working and how this can be done in the easiest way and to understand your ship. As you take off, make sure to look around and look at this beauty. I mean, this is in 100 minutes explained, so I really highly recommend not to play the game or start the game like this, because there is so much to see, so much to explore in this game. Already now, when there is only one system and 323 is on our door. And again, all what I'm showing you right now will still work in 323. A lot more will be added then and later on. But for now, this is a really good entry point for you to learn the game, to understand the game, to get into the flying, to get used to the simulation, to understand the HUD, the ship, and all these different things. So these are the 4 loops that I would recommend you taking. And in the end, they're not as difficult, but they need some practice because it is a simulation, which means it is a highly sophisticated MMO that you're playing. It's an absolutely high-end game, so it's not easy to master, okay? There is a lot to learn, and this is just a guide to show you what you can do so you get where you want to go to. And as I said before, we want to go for our space station here and set our imprint, so that's called the spawn point in this game, because basically you deposit your DNA and then after death or any other encounter you can be reconstructed. So this is Everest Harbor. Make sure when you approach a station, never aim onto the station, always a little bit on the side, because in case you're getting too far you don't smash into it. About 10Ks around the station, armistice zone will start to appear, and in 8K you can call the ASAP, not the ASAP, the ATC, the landing system, which is Alt N you're going to press, and then your hangar will open and you can land. There are ways to smoothen this up, because it can be hard with having coupled mode on, because your thrusters will do stuff. You can use decoupled mode, but this needs a bit of practice, because you need to bounce all the move forward you're doing. You need to balance and counter back with the move backward. So flying decoupled is a challenge, but it's good to know how that works. Okay, so we go to lobby of the space station you enter. As again, we're here in Everest. There are other space stations you can use, is a Port Tressler and Microtech, or Seraphim at Crusader, or by Genie Point on Arcorp. You store your ship to make sure it's off the path, so other people can use it too. Then you are going to look for the medical clinic. Couple things about this. Here are the first these animals. If you are wounded, you check in there. If you need stuff, there is the pharmacy. But what we need to go here is the Olympus Principle, this sign, and regeneration. This is where we're dropping our imprint. Press transfer imprint, confirm, and now your respawn location is set to the space station, which means if you die or if you restart, you don't need to walk through the whole city, which is fun, but it takes a lot of time. One important thing is your Mobi glass. Open it with F1. You see I have this close to 20k AUAC. A lot of information here. It will be reworked with 320C. It looks very different, even better, even clearer on how to use. These are the many missions you have. You always want to take a call to arms when you are on the left or the right side of the law. Untrack it, because it just gives you $500 each time you take down a hostile pilot. Now, we start with delivery missions. They don't pay well, but they teach you the basic things you need to do in this game very well. And aside of doing that, we make 3,000 for the mission and up to 50,000 each run we are doing. It depends slightly on how lucky we are at the places we are going to. Okay, grab your ship, start it, fly it to the marker where you are supposed to go. Those delivery missions start at an outpost, end at an outpost. You have pads there, and you have habitation and cargo pods. If you want to get into those, you're looking for these kind of reg boxes and the gray boxes I'm showing you. Whatever you find in here, you move it over to local storage. You have nothing that you can carry on yourself, because we're still around only with a flight suit, a helmet, and a med pen. Of course, you could wear one of those armors if you want to, but currently there is no combat ahead of us, so we don't need it. No box in here. Here are the gray boxes. Those usually contain food and multi-tools. You want to take those cruise bottles, because they give you nutrition and food at the same time. I usually stack up quite a bit of them, because I really don't want to bother buying them. I just have them lying around at the station. The other good thing to bring in is those attachments for the multi-tool. They sell as well quite good and don't take up a lot of space, so definitely worth taking. Each multi-tool you sell for about $200, and this is a really nice one. All the Novikov stuff and all other heavy armor sells really well. One Novikov helmet sells currently for 6.3k. That's a good amount to get. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is, because we want to make with each delivery mission what we get from the mission, which is about $3,000, and in addition another 20 to 40,000 depending how lucky we are. Take as well the mining attachments. Selling them on a stack gives you 10 of them, gives you roughly 1,200, another 1,200 AUAC, which is helpful. Of course, if you want to bring or keep something, take it. The boots, the shoes, sell okay. Well, no, the shoes sell really bad, actually. Don't take the shoes. But I will show you the suits that might make sense to bring. They look rather weird, but they're good to have. Then, of course, we pick up the thing that we're supposed to deliver it. We put it in our ship, and we loot the other 2 to 4 buildings at the outpost. As you put your box into the ship, make sure to place it and not to drop it. It has not been a big issue anymore, but the recommendation is to do that. Other recommendation, don't take multiple drop-offs. Take maximum 1 or maximum 2 drop-off in one mission. They can bug out, so you don't want to do that. Take 1 or 2, because the stuff you're looting around and you will sell afterward is where the big money coming in. And then rinse and repeat, go through all the places, take everything that is valuable. Over time, you will see what's the most valuable. Just in short, again, Novikov armor is very good. The Ariel armor is very good. And the Pembroke as well, the helmets, they sell for a very good price. And now you see those weird full body thingies here. Those sell as well for about 600 bucks. So it's worth to take. The shoes and all these other things, the shirts, they don't pay as well anymore. I pick it up because I didn't know anymore. They sell badly. So no need to take those, because you need to save your space. Your Aurora doesn't has a lot of cargo space to go for. And then after you looted all those hubs, you go back into your Aurora, take off and fly towards where you're supposed to deliver this box that you picked up here. And again, we're not doing the delivery mission to make the money from them. We're doing it from the stuff around, because, well, that's not fully true actually. The delivery missions level quite quickly, and if you are level 2, which is already max level, then you can get up to 40k for each missions, and those involve as well some FPS combat, so they can be quite some fun if you are enjoying doing this. And what did I forget? I actually forgot to pick out the things from the local area. Remember, as we don't have any backpack and anything, we have to put it in the local area what we are taking out of those boxes. So if you forget to move it over, no worries, you don't even need to land. You just need to go back to Armistice Zone. And what you're seeing here, that's possible everywhere, on every station, every city and every outpost. When you are in Armistice Zone, which the marker up there, the bullets that is like crossed, shows you, you just get out of your pilot chair, make sure the ship is all full halt before that. You press open your inventory and you move everything over into the ship. And now you see we are already 47% full with just those few things that we actually put in. But no need to land, no need to dock, no need to go into stations or cities if you forget to move stuff over from the hub. I don't know how long this is gonna stay that you actually can do that. For now you can, which is convenient, because sometimes, yeah, you just forget something, as I just did here. It was actually, yeah, it just happens every now and then. And then you open your Mobi Glass, you use F2, you go straight to the star map, you find the marker where you need to go for. This is still the old map. The new map is much more cooler, much better, much nicer, and really enjoyable to play with. And you head out of atmosphere and you quantum travel over to your delivery points. As you go over and arrive at your destination, we as well skip it here. You see, this took us 60 minutes so far. I let the timer run for you, so you get an understanding that this is really all possible to be done in 100 minutes, which means in 100 minutes you have access to 4 different game loops right now that you can build your career on if you don't want to spend any real money aside of the starter pack that you're getting. So we are on HMS Norgard on Aberdeen, and rinse and repeat. You go to the little hubs and loot. This is a very bad run that I'm actually having here on the loot here in Norgard. There is not much to get. And of course, you want to drop off your package as well. I had a bug here. The door for dropping off the package wouldn't work. This happens rarely, but it can happen. So that's why I'm still carrying the box here. Yeah, there's just shitloads more of those drinks. Most stuff I don't need at the present moment, but still we put it over into the local menu. Remember, just a few of the clothes are sell well. Most of them sell for a very bad price. So I keep the box in the hand and I try a couple of times whether I can open this airlock that was blocked for whatever reasons. And I cannot drop it off. When you have to drop it off, you either put it in a Covalex box, which is pretty simple to do. You click the button and then you can deposit it. You see this is red, it's supposed to be blue, and when I click it's supposed to be green. So that's shitty if this happens. Well, in the end, we're not that much around here for the 3Ks. We are more here for all the rest. And we're doing this on the side, so we have a place to go to, know where to go to. And we level up reputation, because leveling up reputation makes sense and is important in this game, because this will increase your income drastically as better you get, as the factions do like you more. And here you see it, how you actually do it. Just before you enter your pilot seat, you move everything over into the vehicle. And let's take off and let's bring us back to the space station. I chose and decided to move this character over to Port Wrestler Microtech. As I said, I prefer Port Wrestler or, well, Microtech or R-Corp to have as a hub. You just in the end need to decide where you want to go from. Every place has upsides and downsides. So we're moving over to Microtech. So we take the journey, go to Port Wrestler, that's the space station. The city would be New Babbage. And we travel there and drop our imprint, and then we're going to sell the stuff we looted out of these outposts. Approaching a station at night can be very challenging, so use your ping, which is like a default tap, no, hold V and tap. I think that's going to change in 3.23 back to tap, depending on how keybinds you are, so you make sure you don't smash into the station. And of course, slow the fuck down. Take your time and show the process of landing and takeoff. It is a simulation. Of course, this additional transition took some time. It takes about 7 minutes with the starter quantum drive from Hurston to Microtech. Of course, you can change your quantum drives to a better size, which makes you travel faster. If you want to know and learn more about that, check it. On top of here, there's the video that explains you all the modules, where to get it and how to get it and what third-party tool to use. As you land, refill, restock, use mobi-glass and repair for it, and we get out of the ship. And as I said, as it shows your home base location, go again to the Olympus Central, drop your imprint, and whenever you die, you're gonna respawn at this place. Of course, your main residence stays the same. If you buy stuff in-game or get gifted stuff, that will all be at this place to pick up. Then we go to interstation elevator. Remember that one because it's important. You'll use it on many stations for many things. We have usually 2 levels, Galleria and cargo station. Some have refinery, some have only 2 levels. So we go to Galleria because here we can buy stuff. Platinum Bay, ship modules. Down there is the admin office. We'll see that better later on. And a couple of other things you can do, but most important usually are the armor and weapon stores, which is right over here. You'll find the terminals, they're pretty simple to use. You sell the stuff that you moved from your vehicle into the stations. Here important, whatever you move from the vehicle to the station, that's the moment when it gets persistent. Whatever you have in your ship, if you blow it up, everything's gone. So make sure when you bring stuff back to bring it back at once, so you are you able to sell it. You see, this helmet sells for 1. It's a heavy helmet. That's not bad. I don't have a good helmet yet, so I might want to put that on. This 2 Death Pour is light armor. We don't need to do that right now. I keep the orange flares because I like them. So let's keep this helmet. It's good to have heavy armor helmets, actually. It keeps you from getting the headshots. Of course, you can sell then the other helmet that you don't need anymore. And you see, we have 46,000 AUAC by selling all that stuff that we're having, which gets us closer. We're already over halfway there to our medium ship that we want to fly after 100 minutes in this game. The next things, you need a different place to sell stuff that is in atmosphere gear, which means like suits and shoes and pants. So this is Cassava. Same process, press selling, and now you see what's actually worth taking and what is not. And as I said, these overalls are quite good with 400 AUAC. Shoes are bad. Most other stuff is pretty down on 1 AUAC, so not worth using up the space in your ship. Okay, so sell it. And let's move on to the next place, because there is one more to go. We need to go up to the cargo panel to sell the cargo things that we have on the ship, respectively moved over into the station. This is the orange one, is the admin. There is a terminal in there to sell materials when you start with the trading. Let's go up to the cargo center. Same procedure, different location. We want to find the terminals, go to the kiosks and sell the stuff that we gathered from here. Some prices have changed. They might gonna change back as well. You see, some of the pirate tools that I sell go for 180, others go for only 1, which means, yeah, and if you press the same, it sometimes not work. It is those who have who are special, who have like a name on it, they sell for 1. The simple pure yellow ones sell for 10. So as you see, if you press on the item and then go over to buy, you can bulk sell them. And as we stacked all the stuff quite nicely, we have it easier to sell. So each of them sells for 190, so we sell 10 of them, we have 1900. That's pretty good pricing for what we did, and it adds just up to it. So you might want to keep 2 of the tractor beam attachments because they are actually useful. You need them later on in the game, and you have always a couple of them around you. I usually just keep those multi-tools that I like. I have preferences. I like the Quicksilver and the Ghost version of it. I'm not so fond of the Bloodline. That's why I sell them, even if they don't pay very well. But I'm still gonna do it. All right, having sold our stuff, we're going back downstairs. We know now how much money we have and how to spend it. We need another pant because we couldn't loot that. If you can loot that, even better. It makes sense to bring one. So take a cheap one because better ones you'll find on the way. The ADP armor is heavy armor, the Orc is medium armor, the PAP and the FBL are light armors. There are more different kind of armors. It merely makes a difference. If you are good on FPS, you can go with a light or medium armor. If you get shot easily, if you wear a target shirt, bring heavy armor. If you go into heavy combats, it makes sense to actually bring heavy armor. You can as well use the search function, Orc or ADP, then you see all the things you're having, and you can choose and pick your color. What we really need is 1 leg armor because we need to add some more tools. Bring a backpack. There are big ones. Each of them is depending on their size. Some are for medium and some are for light, some are for heavy armor. Pick the right one you like. I usually pick an Ardent CL backpack because I don't run around in heavy armor all the time. I just bring that when I really need to bring it. So you see the different sizes here. Make your choice. Now, even if we can loot a lot of weapons in game, we need to bring something to start with. If you want to have an easy one that keep on drops a lot of ammo around it, take the P4. This one, the ammo for this one lies everywhere around. The LH86 is my favorite pistol that I would like to use. I get some, at least some ammo with it. So I pick like 5 or 10 of them, which is not very expensive. Ammo is pretty cheap at the present moment. And then you bring your primary weapon, which, as I said, P4. Ammo everywhere. You don't need to bring a lot. You will find it, but I prefer the P8 SC. It's as well an SMG, and it has like 15 bullets more per magazine. It's 45 bullets per magazine, which is worth having. Okay, so I get one of those, get a couple of magazines, and then attachments for these two guns that I'm actually having. I like to bring a sight. I get the smallest possible, the delta sights that I consider them the most useful for pistol and for the primary weapon. But this is up to taste. And anyway, they get all reworked in 323. They look different. Not recoil. Tactical suppressor. Depending what size weapons you have, you need to get different sizes of suppressors or of attachments, and all this. Size 2 weapons need size 2 attachments, and so on. Another reason why I like the P8, because I can get those attachments in pretty much every space stations. For size 2 suppressors, I need to go to either Area 18 or Hurston Lorville. All right, we put the last things onto our character. It is the medical gun that we bought back down in the clinic. Then you add some magazines into your pockets. You put some onto your armor, and then you can use equip or equip all to have then for the main gun the needed ammo. There it has. It works as well pressing double click. You always want to put some in your backpack because you need that. And you want to bring some sustenance, some drinks. As we have light armor here, just little pouches are there, the little pockets that we actually can use. All right, let's look into what we're gonna do next. We go on the general, and then we go to bounty hunter. We could do the tracking permit. That's what you need to start the bounty hunter. But is the ship you're having? I'm not recommending it. You need to be a very skilled pilot to do bounty hunting with Aurora. It's possible to do. I already took it, so it's under mercenary. We do the security contractor evaluation, or as game lingo, bunker missions. You see here on the reputation, that's called the Delphi on the very end. You see I already have some because the reputation gets rarely wiped. That's why it makes so sense to build up, means grind reputation. You need to grind it. It's really, that is a grind. And it makes sense to have it because you get way better priced missions as further up you are. So let's go out and do our first bunker here. Depending on the place where you're going, after when you get closer than 1.5 kilometer, there is a potential situation that the station will shoot at you. Whenever you enter a green space, then you're basically safe. When there is a red zone, then it's hostile. And when it says Xenos threat, you definitely have a turret shooting at you. Usually those missions here are non-hostile turrets. You just need to get in, but you'll see it is different at this one we're doing right now. So when you have 4 hostile turrets shooting at you, you need to land and walk in, or later on have a ship with a ground vehicle to drive in. But this one is a Xenos threat, which means there is only one active turret, and that's the front turret of this bunker. So if you know the layout of the bunkers, you see there is this one pole in this little tower standing there. And this means there is a dead spot for this turret where you can actually land your ship. Important to understand is that with this small ship, if you get hit a couple of times, your shields are down and you are down. So it is quite a thing to get in here without being taken down, but it's possible. And now you see we're landing behind this main tower of the bunker, and suddenly the turret shoots its own tower and it's not shooting us. But you see, my shields were already down. I have no hull damage yet, a little bit more, and I would have been exploded. So this needs some practice, but hey, we're here to learn a simulation. It's a bit of a learning curve you got to go through here. Remember to turn off your engine and then get out of here. If you want to know more about the bunkers in details, there are missions that are explaining things around bunkers in detail. You can click them above there right now. All right, then you walk around, get into the entrance. The blast door is open. Here is the terminal to operate the elevator. Let's go down and take out these 10 enemies that are here. By pressing B, you can change the fire rate of your gun. There are some guns who have single fire, bursts, and automatic fire. Depending on what your preference is, you're gonna choose. Go in, there are boxes around to loot, like this one here. I will show you the locations later here in these bunkers where they all are. But first, you want to take down your hostiles. You see the markers on your friend list? Don't shoot them. The mission will terminate immediately, and if you get shot, you go to jail. A whole different chapter. What's to be done there? Now, the encounter has started. They're coming out of elevators. They are around, and if the server FPS is high, it's a very intelligent AI you're gonna face. Sometimes this is a good thing, sometimes that's a bad thing. But remember, they shoot as well from top, so be clear on what's going on. Those guys with the hats, the little ones, are your friend list, as well everybody who wears pure white armor. And so it goes on. And as soon as you took down the last of them, mission will complete. And we start to loot. Of course, you want to reload and make sure you're ready. And there's a couple things to check out for what we actually gonna bring or not. This guy wears medium armor. We want to bring medium and heavy armor to our ships, and we're going to sell that. Light armor, yeah, I don't want to use up too much space with that because it doesn't sell that well. All the weapons sell as well. Good. We are sort of limited with what we can carry here, so why it's a bit of walking back and forth. So, a couple of places where boxes might be. These are boxes from other missions. People do the consignment mission, which is later on a higher tier mission. You need to level up first. Bring them solely doesn't make a lot of sense. So this is a place where all variety of boxes spawns. The green ones are utility boxes. A couple of things you want to bring. The claws, the crypto keys are good to have. This is light armor. This is, don't even to think about armor. Those are the medical boxes to loot. It makes sense to loot this, especially in the beginning. Don't bring those attachments for the multi-tool. The multi-tool health thing is useless. Use the medic cure gun. I made a whole medical tutorial. You see that on the top right now to get there on how to use each and individual pen and doing all the things with the medical gameplay, which is another loop in the game that might not give us much money, but it's really fun to do. I'm a dedicated medic. I love the medic gameplay. Again, the red boxes are those we are most interested in. Take out, oh wow, another Lynx armor, yeah. The sniper rifle usually pays quite well. You can as well place the other gun into your hands. Yeah, it's really the weapons, just the secondary guns that that are good to sell. Yeah, now we need to be decisive. We bring what we can, and we might need to walk anyways double or twice because of the armors that we want to collect. So you bring the stuff over and you drop it on the elevator, and you hope you don't fall through the elevator, which can occur every now and then. Again, make sure to place it and not to drop it as I do. Dropping is always creating or can create some issues. Now let's go back and you bring our tractor beam. Multi-tool is tractor beam. You press 4 and you get it out, and now you can tractor 6 around. Pretty cool, is it? Yeah, I like it. The ragdolls are done very well. Place it softly, place it nicely so they don't fall off the elevator, because there is a space behind where things can fall down. This includes yourself. Your character can fall down there. You can of course always bring this additional things. We're already quite full when it comes to weapons, but small weapons that can you put in the backpack, that's always doable. So more ragdolling here. Medium and heavy armor is what we're gonna bring. I wanted to bring this one because I like the white microtech armor, but I figured out at the end it's light armor. And yeah, we're not gonna use up space for light armor. It's not as good for what we needed, and it doesn't sell well. So, but guns do sell well. You saw I just dropped it between the floor. This at the present moment still happens every now and then, but it gets rarer and rarer and rarer. So you hear this is a PAP armor, which is okay armor. It looks nice, but it's a light armor. So we just take out what we actually need, an additional med pen and some ammo that actually fits my gun. So we are happy about this. If you see percentage numbers on the armor parts, this means something's inside of there. Here we have 00, so no need to click, but if there is something, go check. Sometimes are useful things in there as well, mission hints or stuff for missions that you might need. All right, let's move all this stuff up to our ship. It's a bit of walking that needs to be done, but it's money. And at the present moment, we need everything we can get. And for the clarity, people at least need to be incapacitated so you can move them around like this with a tractor beam. Incapacitated or dead. You can't move living people around with that. Make this as easy as possible. Put the body is the tractor beam into the ship, and then there is a one-click move you can do to put it in the ship's inventory. So you press F, you press loot, and then you drag drop. We change to vehicle, and then you drag drop the undersuit, and everything will pull over. And then of course you want to throw out this carcass because it starts to stink. You need to do it from the outside. It's just not enough space in an Aurora to do it that way. But you just pull it out. Same with the other body, and then let's move on. And as you can see, these two armors fill almost all up of our inventory space in the Aurora. So yeah, it's time to get a new ship. Yeah, but we're not there yet. We need about 80,000 to get to our next ship. And therefore we do another bunker, and we sell the stuff that we got in the bunker. And this time we're only flying by at Port Tressler, drop out our stuff in Armistice Zone, and go straight to the next missions. The urgent boarding is a good one to make money, actually. It's rough. You need to take down 20 people. If you're good on FPS, you can do it. If not, I suggest you continue doing the defend occupant missions, which give you only 15,000 AUAC. The remove illegal occupants, these are usually shipwrecks missions, which can be challenging, because there is as well air support coming in for the hostiles with an Aurora. Yeah, well, if you're a good pilot, you can do it. And then we need to make sure to level up our reputation, and whenever you do mercenary, you level up mercenary, kind of sort of no-brainer, as much as bounty levels up bounty, and delivery levels up delivery, and salvage levels up salvage, and all these kind of things. But I think, yeah, that's self-explanatory. Remember, we have a turret here, fly out as fast as you can, move around, and let's go to Tressler, drop off, and do the next missions, and I mean, it's the same. We're not going to look at this. Just going to see what the next step is. You see, 82 minutes so far. We have another 20 minutes, and then we need to have our medium ship and unlocked or have access to the 4 different game loops that you actually can do with that ship. Okay, you did another bunker, or you did another thing that moves you forward with the money, so you get at least 80,000 bucks. So we travel down to R-Corp area 18. If you arrive at area 18 at night, this can be challenging. Again, you want to use your scanning pin, which is right now holding V, and with 323 it will be tab again. Well, so says the testing in the EPTU. We will see what it actually is in the end. What you're looking for is a flat area with a tower in it and pinkish green long lights, which is a slightly little bit on the left of where I'm pointing right now. I'm going to get to there in a second. As we're flying in atmosphere with the ship, that's sort of challenging. So we're pointing at it right now. So let's ping it again so you see it. So that's the structure you're looking for right there, where my center arm is showing to. Get there, land it, and then we go for the next step. There we go in. Important here, don't reload or repair your ship here, because we're not gonna fly back with this one. We fly back with the other one we're getting here, and we will just claim it when we are back on the station where we operate from, our home base, so to say. As you're coming out in the Riker Memorial Airport of Area 18, you store your ship at the ASOPs and you walk towards city center. Well, actually to the shuttle, to the tram station, to the transit platforms, and you just turn right here, and here is the traveler panel, which is where you can rent ships, because the first ship you're actually getting is a rented one. And what you want to look for is RSI, and then it's the constellation Andromeda, which is a medium size ship, and you can rent it for 70,000 a day or 180 for 3 days. So depending on how much time you have, you choose which one you want to take. We're getting it for 1 day right now, and that's it. That's why we need this 80k for. And with this, we have a ship that has 96 SU of cargo, 4 Rhino laser repeater weapons, and 26 missiles on it. So this is good for bounty hunting, for doing the mercenary, the bunker missions, for doing rescues, because you can put the land vehicle in there. You need to buy it, but land vehicles, the cheapest one, go from 12,000 upwards. You can do, of course, trading with it. So you can do smuggling with it. So there is so many things you can start with this now. The only thing you need to do, you need to make at least 80,000 a day to uphold the costs that you can get it, and you can level your reputation. You can move forward in the different aspects. So that's how you go. And there we are back at the home base with a new ship. I don't have no timer anymore. Yeah, it might be a little bit more than 100 minutes, but it's definitely doable in 100 minutes. That's how you get into this game. That's how you learn the basic. And with 323 that is coming up soon, even more, you need to play this game. There are no simple, easy game loops anymore, because we're heading towards StarCitizen 1.0, which means the effective release of this game. And of course, things are going to be differently then. And that's the invitation. Play the game, because it's an amazing, fun, great game with a lot of stuff to do. And it really helps if you have friends in the games. You need friends in these games. People to rely on. Find yourself a good org. Be picky. Choose the right thing. And you will have long-lasting game fun. No matter what you buy, ships with real money, or as I'm having here on my Twink account, only the Aurora to go for. So let's have a look what you could do next. You see we have 18K left, so this is, yeah, a little bit. So you can do more delivery. You can go for the bounty hunting, which means first the tracking permits that you need to do, that you unlock and start level your bounty hunting guild reputation. Suspect apprehension is for PvP. Maybe not yet, depending on your skills. You see a couple of missions here that are a bit higher tier than if you are tier 1. Defend occupants is useful to do. You can do the research missions. There is a more to get. So we have on the personal, again, this might be the bit more shady missions there. Some of them you get a crime stat for. But hey, as I said, there is the left and the right side of the law. You can choose which one is which and how you want to move with this. So there is a lot to do. I hope this video was informative and helpful. And if you like it, please like, share, subscribe. And let me know in the comments what else you would like to see. 07 StarCitizens.